Meghan Markle's shocking humiliation in Geneva finally proves that she has just gone mad. I mean, this was the moment, Nancy Sidley pointed it out, this was the moment, the major defeat on her face when she realized that no one had bothered to show up for what was a catastrophic speech, a hypocritical speech, a speech which blows out of the water.
Up to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they're getting roasted right now after Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian deleted photos posing with the Sussexes from Instagram. Now, of course, they both posted pictures and then deleted them. This is, of course, this was when they attended Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party.
Well, Meghan feels hurt by a lot of people, but especially her neighbors. She said it was hard for her to make this move, have all the eyes of the world on her, and she's upset that her neighbors didn't try harder to become her friend, which we've heard stories of people trying to and then being shushed away by security. A lot. We found out that Taylor Swift turned down Meghan Markle for the Archetypes podcast. I believe Vanity Fair told us that Beyonce turned down Meghan Markle for was it Archetypes too?
Meghan steps into every space as if the spotlight is destined to shine only on her, fully expecting every eye in the room to turn her way. But what happens next is a series of moments, 15 in all, where the world simply didn't play along. These aren't just minor setbacks. Some are downright surprising, humbling, and even heartbreaking. You absolutely don't want to miss number 10 because that moment wasn't just uncomfortable. It cut deep in a way that few expected. Just recently, just days after her birthday, Meghan and Harry made their way to Canada for a very special event, the David Foster Foundation's 40th anniversary gala. On paper, it was the perfect occasion for the couple to show their support for a well-respected cause. In fact, attending a charity dedicated to helping young people with serious health challenges might have been a refreshing reminder of what true dedication to a foundation looks like. The evening was filled with elegance and purpose, celebrating 4 decades of hope and healing. The pair arrived ready to join the festivities and, of course, to steal the spotlight on the red carpet, their every move captured by eager photographers. But just then, from the far end of the room, David Foster himself began to make his way through the crowd. In moments like this, timing and presence are everything. Opportunities like this to share a meaningful stage, to be part of something greater than the flashbulbs and headlines aren't easy to come by, and sometimes what you expect to happen doesn't quite unfold the way you imagine. So, Meghan and Harry decided to seize the moment and quickly gather for a group photo with him. As the man approached, Meghan's usual instinct to direct people's positions kicked in naturally. She reached out, stretching her arm, signaling where she thought he should stand. But to her surprise, he completely ignored her gesture. Without a hint of acknowledgement, he simply walked right past her, acting as if she wasn't even there, and quietly took his spot in the picture. If you look closely at Meghan's face in that snapshot, you can almost see the flicker of irritation and disbelief settling in. It was one of the most unforgettable snubs you can imagine, a moment dripping with silent tension. Truly, this stands as a legendary awkward slight, a scene that left Meghan Markle feeling the sting of rejection long after the picture was snapped. She simply couldn't shake it off. Not long after, Meghan found herself at a tennis match, an event that promised excitement and perhaps a chance to celebrate a victory. Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time, was on the court, fiercely competing to add yet another trophy to her impressive collection. The atmosphere was electric, packed with fans clamoring in anticipation. Watching in the stands was none other than Serena's mother, a steady presence offering the warm, unwavering support only a loving parent can provide. It was a heartfelt scene, a champion playing her heart out, backed by the pillar of her family, and Meghan caught somewhere between admiration and her own tangled emotions from recent experiences. Meghan Markle, hoping to strengthen her connection with Serena Williams, decided it was the perfect moment for a little public relations magic by approaching Serena's mother. Her goal was clear: to show the world that she wasn't just a close friend of Serena's, but truly part of the family. She wanted everyone to see that bond beyond friendship, to affirm that she belonged in that inner circle. But instead of the warm reception she hoped for, Meghan found herself in an awkward and unexpected situation. Serena's mother barely gave her a glance, offering no acknowledgement whatsoever. Instead of feeling welcomed, Meghan experienced a palpable cold shoulder. She was not just ignored, but in that instant, visibly dismissed. This moment has since echoed through tabloids and gossip columns as one of the most memorable slights Meghan has ever faced. It's rare to witness a public figure of Meghan's stature being so unmistakably overlooked, and this incident still ranks as one of the sharpest and most talked about snubs in recent celebrity history. Fast forward to a more recent occasion, during their visit to Australia, when Meghan and Prince Harry ventured to the iconic Bondi Beach. The sun was shining, waves crashing, but the atmosphere quickly shifted as reporters swarmed around them. Cameras flashed relentlessly, reporters clamored for the perfect shot, trying to capture every interaction between the royal couple. The frenzy of attention was intense, and the couple's every move was under close scrutiny. Even amidst the excitement, this moment underscored just how high the stakes were anytime Meghan and Harry stepped into the public eye, where every gesture, expression, or slight glance could be amplified and dissected. The scene at Bondi Beach was another vivid example of how the spotlight follows them relentlessly, capturing the highs and lows of life in the global spotlight. Meghan thrives on being the center of attention. It's almost as if the world should pause and take notice the moment she steps into a room. She expects eyes to turn her way, conversations to shift, and people to naturally gravitate toward her presence. But on this particular day, the universe had other plans. A young woman was sunbathing, soaking up the warm rays of a perfect summer afternoon, completely unfazed by the bustling crowd around her. Instead of jumping up to acknowledge Meghan or clear a path for the approaching group, she remained calm and unmoved, comfortably lounging as if nothing extraordinary was happening nearby. It was a striking display of grace and quiet confidence. This woman effortlessly let the crowd step around her, ignoring the usual social expectations. You could almost feel the cool, unshakable poise radiating from her. Back in 2014, Meghan Markle was far from the royal spotlight we now associate with her name. She was still carving out her place in the competitive and often unpredictable world of Hollywood. During the Christmas season that year, she made a trip aimed not just at relaxation, but at making connections, rubbing shoulders with fellow celebrities, hoping to forge relationships that might open doors and boost her career. It was a strategic move, careful yet bold, as she navigated the complex maze of fame and opportunity, determined to rise and shine on her own terms. The entertainment industry was buzzing as the moment finally arrived for the Christmas song performance. Meghan Markle was called up to join a lineup of well-known personalities, including Rob Riggle and Kelly Pickler. They were set to sing the classic White Christmas, a sentimental tune that often brings people together during the holiday season. But something about the performance felt a bit off. As they sang, it became clear Meghan was being treated differently. There was a noticeable distance between her and the others on stage. It wasn't just casual spacing. It looked like Meghan was intentionally being kept separate, as if they were giving her the full social distancing treatment. When you see multiple people independently choosing to create visible gaps between themselves and one particular individual, it sends a very clear message. It's subtle, but unmistakable. Meghan was being singled out in a way that spoke volumes about her place within the group. Meanwhile, Meghan's journey wasn't limited to television appearances and holiday performances. She had just left her luxurious mansion in Montecito and embarked on a flight to Switzerland. This trip was not just a getaway, it was for a very specific purpose. Meghan was scheduled to deliver a public lecture, but unlike typical indoor events, this was going to take place outdoors, in a spacious public park. The organizers hoped Meghan's star power and global influence would draw a massive crowd, filling the park with enthusiastic attendees eager to hear what she had to say. The open-air setting not only allowed for safe social distancing, but also symbolized a new chapter for Meghan, one where she was stepping out on her own terms from the confines of Hollywood's spotlight to a more global platform, reaching people in a fresh, open environment. The turnout was so overwhelming that there simply wasn't enough room for everyone to even find a spot to sit. Organizers had thoughtfully set up rows of chairs scattered throughout the park, hoping to provide a comfortable place for attendees to settle in. Meghan stepped up, full of anticipation and excitement, ready to begin her lecture. She figured people would be drawn in, gathering around, standing or sitting attentively as she spoke. But what happened next was shocking and deeply disheartening. People were just walking past her, barely glancing, as if she didn't even exist. It was the kind of cold shoulder that can freeze anyone's spirit. No one paused, no one stayed to listen. It was as though Meghan was invisible. This public snub was a devastating blow, the kind of moment that can shake your confidence and make you question your purpose. Meghan felt crushed, but she refused to be defeated. Summoning every ounce of resilience, she pushed forward, delivering her presentation to rows of empty chairs and indifferent passers-by. It was a tough pill to swallow, one of the most humiliating moments any speaker could endure. Yet, this experience became a critical turning point, a reminder that the road to success isn't always lined with applause. Amidst these trials, another unexpected encounter unfolded. During Paris Fashion Week, an event Meghan had somewhat reluctantly attended, she crossed paths with Kristen Scott. Their meeting was brief but meaningful, an unexpected highlight in an otherwise challenging time. It was a rare moment of connection, a small spark of warmth amidst the chaos. This meeting planted the seeds for new opportunities and showed that sometimes, even in the toughest moments, meaningful connections are waiting quietly just around the corner. Kristen was a well-known, respected woman, someone who carried herself with confidence and grace. Naturally, the other woman saw an opportunity, a chance to strike up a conversation with Kristen, hoping to connect or maybe even impress her. But instead of a warm welcome, she was met with complete coldness. Kristen completely ignored her, not sparing even a glance or a nod. It was the kind of rejection that hits hard because it's so blatant, like being invisible in a room full of people. The moment was crushing, the silence louder than any words could be. Desperate to salvage her already fragile image, she quickly turned to the person next to her, launching into chatter as if nothing had happened. But the damage was already done. This wasn't just a simple moment of dismissal, it became known as the ultimate snub, the one that people would whisper about for years to come. The sting of that silence had sealed its place in social history. Fast forward to the somber day following the Queen's passing. The world watched as Prince William, Prince Harry, Princess Catherine and Meghan made their way along the front of Windsor Castle. This was a deeply emotional, public moment where the royal family paid their respects and greeted the thousands of mourners gathered to honor the Queen's memory. It was a scene heavy with solemnity, tradition, and profound respect. Yet, as the crowd looked on, a delicate dance of public perception unfolded. While others greeted well-wishers with simple waves, warm handshakes, and genuine smiles, Meghan's presence seemed to spark a different energy. For many, it appeared she was doing far more than just acknowledging the crowd. Her every move was being carefully watched, analyzed, and talked about, and as always, the spotlight followed her relentlessly, whether she sought it or not. As Meghan moved down the line, offering warm hugs and kind words to those gathered to pay their respects, her attention locked onto a particular figure just ahead. There, standing firmly near the handrail, was a resolute woman, unwavering and unshaken, ready to face whatever came her way. She held the rail with a grip that spoke of quiet strength. Meghan, approaching with a friendly heart and a hopeful smile, anticipated a welcoming reaction, perhaps even a handshake or a bright grin. But the moment their eyes met, the air shifted. Instead of warmth, Meghan was met with a cold, unmistakable look of disappointment. It was a sharp snub, a clear signal that the woman wanted nothing to do with the Duchess who, in her eyes, had walked away from royal traditions in favor of the glare of Hollywood's spotlight. The boldness of that silent rejection hung in the air, palpable and stark. Meghan could have stumbled, felt the sting of it, but instead, she maintained her poise, expertly sidestepping the awkwardness as though it was a minor blip in an otherwise perfect day. The scene was loaded with unspoken tension, yet Meghan moved forward as if unruffled, her grace intact. This encounter happened on a particularly significant day, the 70th birthday celebration of Kris Jenner, matriarch of the influential Kardashian clan. Known for attracting a dazzling crowd of stars and celebrities, this event was the epitome of Hollywood's glittering social scene. Meghan recognized this gathering as more than just a party. It was a golden chance to immerse herself in the entertainment world she was eager to embrace. Among the flashing cameras and the buzz of high-profile guests, she saw an opportunity to step into new circles, building connections, and forging her path alongside some of the biggest names in the industry. This moment marked another step in her evolving journey, a mix of challenge and possibility, wrapped in the glamour of celebrity life. Meghan finally seemed to be basking in the glow of the kind of spotlight she had long dreamed of, a level of popularity and acceptance she had worked toward her entire life. But that warmth was short-lived, because this is where the cold shoulder began to take shape. At the lavish, star-studded birthday celebration, Meghan and Harry joined the birthday girl and her family for photographs, a gesture of goodwill in a gathering full of famous faces. True to their usual practice of sharing every glamorous moment, the Kardashians quickly posted a slew of pictures from the event across their social media accounts. For a brief window, Meghan and Harry were featured front and center among the likes of celebrities and influencers. Yet, in a surprising twist just minutes later, the photos showing Meghan and Harry were quietly removed from Kris and Kim Kardashian's profiles without explanation. This subtle but striking omission sent shockwaves through social media, igniting a flurry of speculation and conversation about whether the Sussexes had been deliberately snubbed despite being part of the exclusive event. It was as if the glowing welcome they initially received was being erased, leaving behind a confusing and tense silence. Meanwhile, their neighbors outside the party weren't exactly thrilled with Meghan. Living in the upscale enclave of Montecito, being part of a close-knit community, means more than just fancy parties. It involves engaging with the neighborhood, participating in events, and contributing to a shared environment. But Meghan and Harry's reluctance or choice not to embrace these community traditions reportedly ruffled feathers. Gradually, this lack of involvement led to a chilly distance between the couple and their neighbors, who began to overlook them socially, deepening a sense of isolation in a place where they had hoped to find belonging. Now, the reality is that when Meghan wants to pursue something or reach out, she's often met with silence, no one around her willing to offer genuine support. In a place like Montecito, where privacy is prized above almost anything else, residents are particularly sensitive to disruptions. Unfortunately, because Meghan lives there, the media spotlight has intensified, making many neighbors uneasy and prompting them to keep their distance. Instead of a warm community, she faces what feels like a quiet snub from those around her, a stark contrast to the warmth one might expect from neighbors. What's even more heartbreaking is hearing that Meghan herself felt a deep disappointment that neighbors didn't make a real effort to befriend her. We've heard stories surfacing about well-meaning people attempting to break the ice, only to be swiftly shut down by her security team. This only added to the isolation, creating an invisible barrier between Meghan and the community she now calls home. Adding to the story's complex web, there have been reports about high-profile artists turning down invitations from Meghan, including for her Archetypes podcast. For instance, it was revealed by Vanity Fair that Beyoncé declined an invitation, and similarly, Taylor Swift reportedly chose not to participate. While the full reasons remain private, it suggests the challenges Meghan faces in expanding her circle and influence, even within the entertainment world. It's a subtle reminder that even those with star power aren't immune to the complexities of public perception and personal relationships. As we wrap up this journey through Meghan Markle's story, it's clear that fame and fortune don't guarantee acceptance or happiness. Behind the glamorous headlines, there's a human story filled with loneliness, struggles for connection, and the search for belonging. Meghan's experience reflects a universal truth sometimes. The greatest battles are fought not in the spotlight, but within the quiet spaces of everyday life. If this story captivated you, made you think, or simply kept you on the edge of your seat, don't forget to show your support. Like this video, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories, share it with your friends so they don't miss out, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing what you think and which stories you want us to explore next.